All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Fit IT Guy. Today I have this trunk, refrigerator, and freezer from Tilliard, and I'm just so amazed to have this. I've been dreaming of a trunk fridge for the past 3 years that I've had my original Tesla Model Y. I just never got around to doing it. Now that I have the Juniper, one of the first accessories that I should add to the car. You know, carrying all my meals with me every day when I'm in the car on a long trip, like I'm going on a long trip Saturday. I'm driving about 2 hours east to Long Island. I'm gonna be in the beach there all day, come back. My cooler with my ice, you know, eventually by the end of the day, the ice starts to get warm. With a trunk fridge, my food will always stay cold or frozen if I want it to be in freezer mode. If I want it to be in fridge mode, it'll keep my food cold. It'll keep my drinks cold too, my water, my Zevia, whatever I have in there. So super excited to be trying this out today and super excited to be putting it in the car. And those of you with kids, with families, you know, you can put the whole family's or kids' food in the fridge here. It'll keep it cool. You can have some drinks always in the fridge. This fridge uses very, very little electricity. It uses 0.5 kilowatt hours of electricity in 24 hours. So what does that mean? It's about 0.5% of your battery per day. You can't beat that. And that's if you have it on. If you have it off, that's a different story. It's not gonna use anything. So if you have nothing in here, it's just sitting in your car, you can always just unplug it. It plugs into the 12-volt cigarette lighter in the trunk. There's no reason not to put it in if you're thinking about it. If you're somebody that's constantly on the road, or you're out on long weekends with your family or by yourself, if you're camping, you have a fridge in the back of your car that also functions as a freezer. There's app control. There's a dial here to control the temperature. You know, I'm carrying 5 to 6 meals with me a day, plus drinks, plus a gallon of milk right now at this point. So a lot of food that I'm eating to bulk up here. And I need to keep my food cool, especially when I'm out on the road all day. And we're doing another garage install today because it's raining out. It's also super hot in here. So we're gonna do the best we can with this heat wave. So as you can see, this fridge comes in 2 pieces. You have your lower level and you have your upper level. The upper level is where all the refrigeration is. So whatever you want to keep the coolest, you'll put on the top. Whatever you don't mind keeping as cool, you'd put on the bottom. But you can see this is pretty deep. It's a 16-liter fridge, so it's an upgrade from the previous 15-liter fridge from the previous Model Y. Like I mentioned when I first got the Model Y Juniper, it feels like the trunk is slightly deeper. It seems like it because we get an extra liter of fridge space with the new fridge from Tilliard. And again, you can use my discount code TFIG to save on Tilliard.com. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to put this in. All right, so this should be a fairly simple install. We have, again, 2 pieces. There's a lip here that the top piece basically slides into. It has a little groove here to slide into that. And we have these 2 holes here that we'll be installing a component onto for the top to latch onto the bottom. So that's what we're gonna do first. But you can see the bottom piece really just fits right in here, like so. You have your 12-volt cigarette lighter right here, and the cable is just long enough to fit in there without being too long. Okay, so with this piece in here, we're actually gonna move this off to the side. We need to take this part of the trunk off. Excuse the storage underneath. Obviously, I use every bit of storage in the car. So the reason we took that off is we need the room to slide the top portion here onto the bottom piece of the fridge. So one thing I want to show here too is there's this little indent here. This is basically where your plug will sit nicely when it's plugged into the 12-volt cigarette lighter there. So we want to make sure that's there, but also it helps to open up the bottom too to get it in there so you can see what you're doing. So we're going to try to plug this in at the same time as we're pushing it in back here. So actually not that bad. I can feel the plug there. And let's plug it in. It's plugged in. Now we can just kind of slide this until it scoots right in. So another thing I'll mention here too, which is super important, when you plug it in, turn it off right away. The instruction manual says to not turn it on for 2 hours after you basically picked it up from shipping because the whole unit needs to be sitting upright. Now, if you had it sitting upright already, you know, you took it out of the box and you're installing it another time of day or another day, then that's fine. But make sure it's sitting for 2 hours straight before you turn it on. Tough to get in all the way. You just have to make sure this sits flush. Because of the Velcro, we just have to keep trying until we really get it in all the way. So I'm gonna push it in. You can see it's sticking out here a little bit. It should sit perfectly flush, and we'll come back when it's perfectly flush. So you can see we still have a little bit of a lip here. This needs to sit perfectly flush. We still have a bit of a gap, so I can push it in on the top, probably another few centimeters, or, you know, like 1/8 of an inch or so, 1/4 of an inch. So I'm just gonna keep pushing. Again, the Velcro is holding it tight, so you just gotta keep pushing against the Velcro until it finally sits flush. So I'll show you how it looks like once it's flush. All right, guys, I did it. You can see it's absolutely flush now. And what I had to do was push with both hands, basically push this straight, and that gave it so much strength to move. And we can see it's absolutely flush. All right, so they included these two little tools here. The way this works is you take this, you insert it in the hole here, and it basically falls all the way down. So once it goes all the way down, like so, you turn it, and it locks just like that. And we're gonna make sure this one went all the way down too. Great. And it locks, it makes an audible click. Then we take this cover. So this is a magnetic cover, and we're just gonna stick it there. And kind of just sticks just like that. You can see here, it just slightly sticks out because of the curvature of the trunk here. But otherwise, it's flush over here, basically. It's actually a little bit in from the trunk itself. And you can't open the actual door unless you pull on the latch here, and it opens right up. There's just a small latch there that you need to pull. And we got a couple accessories here as well. These are little, I guess, fridge liners, and then we have a fridge tray as well that sits above one of the liners here. So I'll show you exactly how that goes. All right, so this is our first tray. This is our second tray because it has the holes here. So the first tray goes on the bottom, and it goes just like this with the handle facing towards the door. It's your bottom basket there, and you can put your top basket right over it. And it does give it some space down there, so you can space out your food a bit. You don't have to use the baskets if you don't want to. And then here's the very top tray, which in the pictures, they show it used for holding drinks, but you can also put containers here and other things as well. It kind of just fits like so. We can close the door, and let's open it again. And there we go. There is our 2 basket and 1 tray system. You can fit a ton of drinks here, containers. If you don't use the tray or the basket, you can kind of just stack so many containers, fruit, whatever you're putting in there. So this is pretty freaking cool. I'll give you a live demonstration coming up now. All right, guys, so it's the next morning now. I'm gonna be out of the house for the day. So the first thing you wanna do now that the fridge is set up, I held the button down to turn it on. So it's showing it's at 7 degrees Celsius. But what we're gonna do here is download the Tamai app. And when you download the Tamai app, you open it up, hit add device, and it's going to search for nearby devices. So we have the Tamai Glacier Y, that's the fridge here. You're going to hit add device. So now we click on it to connect, and we can control it from here, which is pretty freaking cool. We can set the temperature, so it's currently at more of a refrigeration temperature. So they have a nice little user manual here. In the app, you can set different modes: extremely cold, eco, energy saving, silent mode, refrigeration mode. It does have a little bit of sound to it. It's only audible because it's quiet here and I have the trunk open. I'm sure from inside the car you can't hear it at all. And this is a good cooling mode. It's not in the eco mode. So I have some of my containers here for the day. I have 3 meals. I have a bunch of drinks. I have my girlfriend's food that she already ate. But let's see what we can fit in here. The top of the fridge is the coolest. I'm gonna take out this second tray. We still have the tray on the bottom. And let's just see how many of these we can fit in here. These are a little bit of a bigger container than the size of the fridge. But we can see you have two of these big size containers. I'll add another one. So pretty big. I'd probably go with a little bit smaller containers going forward, but this is our first time using this, so now I know. And let's see how many drinks we can fit in here too. These are sparkling ice drinks, 0 sugar. Okay, so I think the trick is to put some of the drinks down here that are bigger so that we have room for the container on top. Bigger drinks can kind of just fit sideways like that. We have room to stand one up here. Room for another one here. And the final test is this container, if it'll fit. Obviously we had to take the basket and the tray out. We'll just be putting this in the bottom of the sub trunk. And the door is closed. And there's our temperature again, which we can control from the app. So we can set the temperature from here again. There we go. So I'll keep it at 5. It's at 5 Celsius. I don't know if there's a Fahrenheit option. Hello. I'll come back to here when it's time to eat. All right, so we're at the gym. Been here for a couple hours, catching up on some emails for work. And I'm hungry. I did my cardio. I'm going to eat now. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my workout in about an hour and a half. So I need to get my pre-workout meal, which is this. And you can see I still have a bunch of space in here now. Everything seems nice and cool in here. I can feel the coolingness of the fridge. Close it up. It closes just like that. Opens just like that. No effort at all. It's so nice, so flush. To the car, again, this is amazing. This is a lifesaver because I can even store my ice packs in here. Let's say I am going to be on foot or away from the car for a while. I can keep my food cool in here with the ice packs. And then when it's time for me to get out of the car, I can open this up, take out the ice packs, put it into a cooler with my food, and take it with me for the rest of the day. So this is super convenient for me, for somebody that's eating 5 meals a day, sometimes 6. This is a lifesaver.